Good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome to Walking Through Glass, the podcast with your host, Dr. Dina C. Brown. Happy Monday. It is time for us to get things going on this amazing Monday morning. And why is it so amazing? Because you woke up this morning. Some people were not as blessed to wake up. So again, shake whatever's on you that might be bringing you down and realize that today is your day to be great. Today is your day to make things happen the way that you want to happen. Today is your day to think it, to believe it, to act on it, to own it, to achieve it, because it's Monday and it is time to get motivated. So, continuing my promise and bringing you a daily dose of vitamin Dr. D, I definitely have a message for you today. And this message is not only just for you, this is the message that I had to give myself. And I will tell you that sometimes when you're in the thick of it, in the midst of it, when your doubts and your frustrations and your anger and your anxiety begins to try to take hold of your mind, you have to take action. You have to do something. You cannot sit there and wallow in that, because next thing you know, your whole day is ruined. Your whole week is ruined. Things that you were working on, promises that you've made to yourself, opportunities that have presented themselves to you somehow begin to fall by the wayside. So you really have to guard your mind. And when I say guard your mind, I mean guard your mind like Fort Knox, and be cautious not only as to what you are speaking to yourself, but what you allow others to speak to you. And do not be afraid to rebuke words of discouragement that people try to pour over your life. Do not be hesitant about telling people exactly who you are because of who you are, because of whose you are. And I say that because those words, those little nuggets and those little implantations and impartations that I was speaking about the last time that I came before you for our daily dose of Dr. Vitamin D, is that they can sit there and marinate, and sometimes like little seeds, they can actually germinate. And we don't want that to happen. Why? Because as a woman or a man thinketh, so is she. So our thoughts play a huge role in how we embrace the day, how we tackle the journey. And recently I was sitting and marinating over a couple of things, and I do a lot of reflection. I spend an extraordinary amount of time reflecting. I'm not saying it's always like the best and exactly the way that I want it to go, but I'm getting better on it. And yes, I do meditate every day. And yes, I carve out the time. And yes, I'm working on being more diligent and more focused on being able to do that. Because I notice that when I don't, things that shouldn't bother me, or when I say shouldn't bother me, things that should not bother me as much, things that on other days that I should be able to shake off, kind of take hold and get a little root. And so today I wanted to come before you to talk to you about how to make sure that when you are chopping off weeds that are visible above ground, that you are able to really actually go in, like my mama used to say, is, honey, you got to pull out the root. You got to go down and dig out the root. And when you see the roots and you pulled it out and you checked the soil, then you can kind of say, okay, that weed is gone, it's dead. Because if you just kind of cut it off at the top, you just chopped it, and you didn't get at the root of it, it's going to grow back. And so that's what happens with thoughts. That's what happens when people say things to you that don't really germinate or align with who you know you are. And so that sense of clarity that you have to have about who you are is key and vital. And what's really important is that during the course of the process where you're processing things that people say to you and how they talk to you, is that you go back and look at the root. What is it about what is said that bothers you? Because sometimes people will discount your response. I'll say it again. Sometimes people will discount your response. If someone says to you, and I'll give you a recent example that happened to me, and someone said to me, "You're condescending." And immediately, as I shared back to them, no, I am not. You cannot use the words "I am" to describe me, especially with negative connotation. You cannot. I will not. I will not. I can't even process, and I choose not to process what you say. Now, what maybe should have been said is that the way your verbiage or what you said was perceived, the person on the other end of that felt that. Okay, now that to me is valid, and now I can discuss with you what was going on with them, what was going on with me. I need to, what is the context to what you're describing? And I say that, and I'm speaking to this, and I wasn't going to at first, but I wanted to speak to you this Motivational Monday because I refuse to start this week with any negative baggage, mind-wise, word-wise, and being able to embrace the day, the week, and people who I don't necessarily think have, I question their motives. I'll just be honest with you with saying that. Is that when I sit there and I think about all the times that I spend to really think about language and how do you communicate with people. And one of my coaches said to me, because I processed this through, and I said, okay, I went to people that I know, like, and trust and value. And I said, please help me understand. Is something about the way that I'm sharing or speaking. And the people that I know, like, and trust and value, and who have a sense of self-purpose, their response was no, I don't see that. I don't hear that. So I had to go back and say, okay, I'm not discounting anyone feeling or thinking that way. And again, I'll say feeling or thinking that way. But I will rebuke the fact that you're going to lay a disclaimer on me that doesn't align with who I am. And so I began to process that, and I realized that it wasn't even about me. It has more to do with how people think and feel and see themselves, because you will never move beyond your own personal self-image. I have a very high self-image of myself. I know who God called me to be. It took me a long time to get here, 47 glorious years, and I'll be damned if I allow anyone to begin to plant seeds, or what I call weeds, of self-doubt back into my psyche. Now, I do ask, and I think feedback is so critical, so important, so valuable, but I do not seek validation from people. And that for me to stay motivated, as we call this our Motivational Monday, on this journey to the greater tomorrow, I have to really stay very clear and very focused, because I'm very confident about who I am. And one of the things that stops people from really acting on what their dreams are, what their visions are, what their desires are, is confidence. What are they gonna say? What are they going to do? What are they going to think? And to my soon-to-be titled, once I get it all straight, but I know that I'm going to have to write it, who the F is they? Who the F is they when it comes to you owning your own sense of greatness? Who is they when you have to get up, get ready, and face and embrace the day? Who is they? And if you're allowing they to control your actions, your thoughts, you're in big trouble. So I'm very particular about I am statements, not only with myself, because when things happen and I start to process and dwell too deep, I have to go back to I am. Who does God say I am? Because sometimes I could get it wrong. So I always go back to who does He say I am. And by no way, shape, or form do I think I'm perfect. Got some flaws, got some things that I want to work on, got a lot of areas to grow in. Okay? One of which is my temper. And I have spent a lot of time learning to respond instead of react. Because like my mama, Ruby Louise, I can go from 0 to 360 very quick. But I have had to learn that that is not going to it's not beneficial to my greater good, to where I'm growing to in life. So I had to shut that down and begin to work through that. So in this season of my life, I realize that I have to be more guarded about those who wish to speak negativity into my spirit. Again, I'm not talking about feedback. I'm not talking about people saying, hey, this happened and this is, this is what I'm sharing with you. Let's talk about it. That's not what I'm speaking to. When I'm speaking to people who try to define you and who begin to try to tell you what your I am should look like. That's not going to happen. Not today, not tomorrow, not ever, ever again. I spent a long time getting to this place. And so on this Motivational Monday, I decided that I'm going to continue to operate in the greatest sense of good, the greatest understanding of who I know I am to be, because I know who God called me to be, and I know what my purpose is, which is to inspire, empower, and to transform lives. How I do that may change, but that is exactly what I'm called to do. And that's exactly what I will do. Because you know what? Any and everything that I put my hands to and I speak my mouth to is about to bring life to dreams and hopes and wishes and desires. Not only my own, but any and everyone that I'm connected to. So on this Monday, I give to you a clear, confident, consistent power of thought. And embrace your today with the power of I am. What is it that you need in your spirit today? What do you need? And so for me, I started with my moment this morning with I am focused. I am focused. I am focused on manifesting and bringing to life and to fruitions all of the dreams, all the hopes, all the goals, all the plans, and the desires that have been implanted and embedded in my spirit. And I'm working on some really powerful material, which is why I begin to question the timing of when people begin to try to speak doubt and self-consciousness into your existence. And I just say, devil, you are such a liar. I know who God called me to be. And that I am, on this Monday, more focused, more determined. I am clear. I am very confident. And I'm darn right more consistent. Because I showed up today to give you another daily dose of Dr. Vitamin D. And so I appreciate you. And if there's any part of this message that resonates with you, please, please, please leave a comment, like it, share it. If you use iTunes, if you're listening on iTunes and you enjoyed it, go ahead, and we always love 5 stars and a comment. And if you have something that you think that you want to talk about, or a conscious conversation that we may need to engage in, please, please, please reach out to me. I'd love to get your thoughts, because really it's not about me. It's about me being able to serve, because I'm here to add value to you. So, without further ado, on this magnificent Monday, I tell you, speak life, speak love, and really learn and get a clear understanding of who's really in your corner and who's really around the corner waiting to sabotage your growth. So, on this Monday, be great, be positive, embrace the journey unapologetically. So, that's all that I have for you today. I look forward to coming to you tomorrow. Who knows what we're going to talk about tomorrow? Depends on what happens today. So, have a wonderful, 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 wonderful day. And, Keep doing what you do. This is your daily dose of Vitamin Dr. D, because who couldn't use a little bit more sunshine in their life? Bye-bye.